That phrase used again, national disaster. And after 6 o'clock, we'll bring you two panel discussions. Firstly, we'll look at the political machinations, some of the debates behind what happens now, the solutions, the ideological debates, and we'll talk about where to now, given the mess that we're in, the black hole, as it were. And let's look back. I mean, this came up again. It was brought up by Eskom again, the genesis of the problem. So what Eskom is saying is that it has inherited a problem and missteps have been made for years, going back all the way to 1998. So if we start there, a white paper was released saying that Eskom will reach full capacity by around 2007. Now, this was hard to grasp at the time because South Africa had cheap, abundant electricity. And in the event, government ignored those warnings. Thabo Mbeki, then president, later issuing an apology for that, in fact. It took years before Medupi and Kusile, the coal-powered coal stations, were built. And we know that there have been intensive problems around project management, how those were dealt with, how politicians got involved. That was years later. And sure enough, October 2007, we see the beginning of rolling blackouts. January 2020, fast forward, and we see the new Eskom CEO coming in. He spoke about maintenance. He did say there could be increased load shedding, but he has even admitted on the show he had no idea about the scope of the problem that he was dealing with at Eskom and how difficult it would be to get over the hurdles. June last year, Eskom announces stage 6. Now remember, last year we saw the most intense year of rolling blackouts on record, despite the efforts since 2020. And stage 6 has become more regular. Basically, this year, heading into 2023, most days we've experienced load shedding, bar 1 or 2. So that is where we are right now. After 6 o'clock, we'll talk about the solutions. What do we do now? Is there light at the end of the tunnel? Of course, there's an ideological debate around baseload energy versus renewables. Which is the right way to go? Or should we just be doing everything practically right now that we can?